Alright, these are notes for anybody taking Algebra 2, Semester 1. We're going to start on page 62. You could have the book open at the time. You should be doing these on a piece of paper and a spiral notebook or something like that. And we're going to start at the very top of 62. It's the oral exercise number 11. I'm just going to do a few of them. You're going to finish them. I'm just giving you a short rundown on how to do each problem so that you should be able to solve the rest of them. Number 11 is negative 6x is greater than 3, and this is on inequality. And we want to graph the solution to this and match it to one of the answers that's listed there in the book. So to solve this, we're going to need to get x by itself. So we're going to want to divide both sides by negative 6 so that those will cancel out. I'll get x. Now the problem is I divided both sides by a negative. That's got to change to the greater or less than sign. And this right here is going to give me negative 1/2. 3 over 6 would reduce to 1/2. So underneath this, you're going to draw the graph. You're going to put 0 in the middle. We're going to go negative 1 here, so that means negative 1/2 is right there, and it's going to be an open circle because it's just less than. It's not greater or less than or equal to. Equal to would make that a closed dot. And then we want to shade everything to the less than side, which is left. Less than is always left. So let's look at our book and see which one that matches to. And that is going to match to letter G. So that's how you do 11 through 16. Solve them, graph them, and match them up and see what happens. When you get to the written exercises at the bottom, page 62, number 1, you're going to take x minus 7 is greater than negative 5, and you're simply going to solve it. In this case, we would add 7 to both sides. You're going to get x is greater than, and that's going to be a positive 2 when you combine those. Those would add, you've got to subtract them because they're different, that's more positive. And then underneath it, you draw a quick graph. Need a positive 2, I'm going to put 0 here, and 1, and 2. And again, open circle because there's no equal sign underneath. And if you make this into an arrow, it kind of points to what direction you need to shade. So I'm going to shade the positive side, the greater than side. So that would be number 1, and that's what you're going to do on 1 through 16. Solve and then graph. I'm going to do number 7 for you on that page because it has fractions and it might be a little tough. Negative p over 2 is greater than 3 over 2. Let's multiply both sides by 2. That'll cancel these 2's, that'll cancel these 2's. I'll get negative p is greater than 3. I don't want negative t, so I need to divide by negative 1, which is going to switch that to less than. If t is less than negative 3, and again, since it's just less than, I'm going to put the 0 here, so I can do 1, 2, 3. These are all negatives. And again, just less than means there's no equal sign underneath it, means open circle. And if I, again, make it an arrow, it's going to be showing it pointing to the left. Less than is always left. Fill in this arrow here. Show that it goes on forever. So anything less than negative 3 would be the answer to 7. So any number over here would be an answer for that problem. So that's how you do the 1 through 16. Now if you get to page 67, you're going to do numbers 7 through 12 first. Actually, you're going to do A through H, and you're going to match those up. So let's start with letter A. It says negative 2 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 3. They want you to break these into 2 pieces. So do you see the 2 pieces? They both have an x. This one is negative 2 is less than or equal to x. If I switch it all around, then this is going to be x. It's going to be greater than or equal to, it's going to be negative 2. Because you see how it's opening up to the x, so we still have to make it open up to the x. This one is just going to come straight down. X is less than or equal to 3, and it's an and statement. It's a less than. So we're going to graph that on here. Here's 0, negative 2 will be here, and 3 will be over here. They're both closed circles this time, because both of them have an equal sign underneath. Now greater than, if I make it an arrow, is pointing to the right. So greater than is this way. Less than is pointing to the left. So that's going to be this way. So you can see that that would be the answers to those two. It's got to be this answer and this answer, so it can only be the ones in the middle. Can't be both. Can't be the ones at the ends. They will only work in one. In this case, they want you to work in both answers. So that's how you do letter A. Now we would look on there, we would try to match it up, and that's going to be number 8. Letter A matches with 8. So that's how you're going to do A through H on there. And you're going to move down to page 67 at the bottom, number 1, and you're just going to solve a graph. So you'll have 3 less than or equal to x is less than or equal to, or just less than, is less than 5. So again, you're going to take this, and I'm going to flip it around so that the x is in front. This becomes a greater than sign. This becomes a 3 here. And I'm going to put x less than 5 as an and. But these are both less than. You can tell by the and. And just draw a quick graph. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's 3, here's 5. You're going to make a closed dot at 3, but an open circle at 5. Does not include 5. It's not equal to 5. And then greater than 3 would be to the right, less than 5 would be to the left. So the only answer here would be 3 and 4 of the whole numbers. All these fractions are right answers, but as far as whole numbers, 3 and 4 were the only two positive number answers that would fit in there. So that would be your answer to number 1. And that's what you're going to do for 1 through 14 on page 67. And then you have your worksheet, which is the exact same material. So you're just going to solve it, graph it, and make sure you do the graphs right on the worksheet. And that's it.